Ms. Downs, does Google think that this is a problem, and what is the solution that you're coming up with to address it?
So the first way is by demoting low-quality content and promoting more authoritative content, and the second is by providing more transparency for users. So we're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have shown themselves to turn up a lot of information that is counterfactual, such as searching for the earth is flat on YouTube, where you see a lot of
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the earth is not flat.
Correct.
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the earth is not flat.
Correct.
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the earth is not flat.
Correct.
All right, my friends, good morning from Japan. Hope you guys are doing fine today. Thank you so very much for being here. It's a great moment for me to share same thoughts on flat earth and biblical cosmology. It's a moment that I really treasure because it's when we get together to talk about things we like, which is flat earth. And shout out to all of you who are here. Crystal, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here today. I think I need my reading glasses here. Hello, Canada, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. Yes, I'm in Japan today. Thank you for asking, Garth. Hope you're doing fine. And good morning, Wigum PI007. New Hampshire is in the house. How are you, brother? 25 miles per hour. Good, brother, always here. Thanks for being here today. Hi, Garth Person. All of you, thanks for being here. Great show. I hope we're going to have a good show today. Florida is in the house. Thank you so much for being here today. Nagasaki, Japan. So we got to get together. How are you, Melissa? Let's get together sometime. Let's talk about flat Earth. Okay. So welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Hi, Anaheim, California. Welcome. So great to have all of you here, brothers and sisters in Christ, and fighters, co-fighters in this battle, to spread the truth of the flat Earth. So I'm positive about the things we have reached so far, and I had to play this intro, the Congress hearing, where the lady CEO from YouTube, she was explaining what steps she was going to take. That was back in 2018, if I'm not wrong. Hello, Tammy. Tammy's in the house. Hello, shalom to you. Right. So she took some steps back in 2018 to censor flat Earth, and this past week I was, trying to have some reasoning conversation with Glober, and he kept denying that such hearing ever took place. He kept saying like, no, you're not telling the truth, you're lying, this thing never happened. So what I will do, that short clip, I'm going to upload again to my backup channels, because some are, I would say they are new hire people to shield for the globe, so they don't even know what they're talking about. So got to put this information there that flat Earth is greatly censored on YouTube. I have been able to find the videos, and I will go ahead and share with you right now. This is the Flat Earth's one of my backup channels called Flat Earth Sermons. And I have been digging deep, Vimeo, Dailymotion, and, all sorts of sources, trying to find the biblical sermons or, testimonies. And this week alone, I uploaded 21 videos to this channel. This lady here is really nice. She has her own podcast. I can't find her channel anymore, but I'm gonna try to find, because those videos, positive videos about flat Earth, it's there one day and then it's gone. You can't find it anymore. So what I do every day, I search for flat Earth videos and I immediately save or download them, because and then it's hard to find them back. So I'm gonna search her website and try to uh, give her the credits. But anyway, she was just having her show. She has a regular show. She started talking about flat Earth positively, and some one of her subscribers start cussing, like commenting, and she starts questioning why is he doing that. So very interesting. Here, Hebrew. There's no doubt that the Bible is a flat Earth book, and they break down all of those videos. Break down the language, the Hebrew or the Greek. This lady, for example, why is it important what I'm doing, gathering all those sermons, all those Bible studies together into one channel? For example, this lady here, she hasn't uploaded any video for the past 4 years. And she has several Bible related study Bible videos. But she only has two that she talks about flat Earth. So what I did, I just uploaded her two flat Earth videos here. This one, Biblical Cosmology, and this one. So it's it's like I'm purifying, just like when you purify gold, you remove all the other stuff. So I'm going on these channels. Sometimes they have 50 videos, but only one about flat Earth. So I get that one only, because that's why I want to build this online video library with everything about flat Earth. So that's what I've been doing. So this week alone, I uploaded 21 videos. Now this one here, Plane of Existence, and I plan to invite this pastor to our show on Sunday. He has, this is 7 hours, 7 hours and 26 minutes worth of flat Earth study. I think he did it like one day at a time. And I listened to one of them. I really liked it. So I downloaded all 6 episodes and I combined into one long video. So you can start today and you'll be done by the end of the week. It's an amazing, by what I have heard so far, it's really good. So I plan to finish listening to this week. So a short video. I'm going to play this one today. Firmament, Old Testament, everything. Some videos were uploaded like last week, like this one here. This one's pretty good. This Asian lady is talking to another lady. And some were uploaded like 10 years ago, like this one here was like 10 years ago. So I'm gathering them all together. And, we must have one channel dedicated just for biblical flat Earth. Only one. That's what I've been doing here, building this channel, right? So if you want to listen to biblical flat Earth, friends, Bible study, they go deep into the meaning of words. They break down the Greek, and even I learned something. Although I thought that I had learned everything, but I'm still learning as I go over and listen to these videos. So let me go back here for a minute. I think let me go ahead and get started what I want to say. Let's start with this. So last week I talked about this Glober. And what happened is, it kind of, I didn't even play everything that I wanted to play. This guy went wild and he was invited to this podcast and he was invited, you know, everyone there very nicely, friendly to him, and he just went crazy. So what happened is many of the people, I would say 90% of everyone who watched it, uh, were not flat earthers, but they came up really hard on this guy, how uh, how rude he was. What he was a jackass. To say, I think that's the word. Completely during the show. So the result is that more and more people got more interested in flat Earth. This guy is even a friend of mine. He has been invited to a large audience podcast. So that's what I say. The difference between the podcasters in Brazil and in the US is like the guys are sincere. They invite flat earthers to talk about flat Earth. It's not like those podcasts that I've seen in the US, and I'm going to mention a couple of them today, where they invite the anti-flat Earth to talk about flat Earth. They are not honest people. So it backfired. Good. I wish that the shows in the US would invite Eric Dubay or some real flat earthers to talk about flat Earth, not control a position, which we will be talking about today. Another thing I want to talk about flat Earth and flight routes. I constantly hear Globers saying that those flights are the way it is because they're picking up more passengers. And I am constantly saying that that's not the case. For example, this is the flight where the Brazilian female soccer delegation was going to fly, was going to play in Australia. So they have a charter flight. Charter flight, that's a big airplane, it's not a small airplane, that on the globe would easily fly to, Brasilia to Santiago, Chile, and then to Sydney, Australia. But instead went all the way to Tahiti. They could not land, if you look here on the flat Earth map, because the US started requiring transit visas costing $160. The whole delegation decided to fly to Tahiti instead of flying to Los Angeles and then Sydney. So you can see that it doesn't make any sense on the globe. It makes sense on the flat Earth map. They are not picking up passengers there. It's a charter flight. The whole team is on the airplane flying to Sydney, Australia, and they were not picking up any more passengers. Same thing in this flight here when Argentina won the World Cup in 2022. They could easily fly to Qatar or back, making, if they had to, they needed to, stop in Africa, somewhere in Africa. Instead, they go all the way to Rome and then Qatar. So it's pretty easy to understand on the flat Earth map. Another flight here, that was Brazil back in 1988 when the male men's soccer team went to Australia. Same thing happened that time. The US did not require transit visa. They were able to land in Los Angeles for refueling, and then they went to Sydney, which makes no sense on the globe, but makes sense on the flat Earth map. And let me see if I have one more. This is another charter flight from Tel Aviv to Sao Paulo. Nowhere in Africa they can stop. They had to stop in Madrid and then fly to Sao Paulo. We can easily understand on the flat Earth map how this is done. No, makes no sense on the globe at all. So they're not picking up passengers, they're just flying. This is a flight that the Brazilian government chartered to bring people because of the war in the Middle East. So just for you to have an idea, this is a just happened now in the World Cup. Norway was flying back to Norway, and the entire airplane is a charter plane. It's not like they are having any picking up any passengers. So listen to this one here.
9746, you got a second?
Yeah, we got a second, America, 9746.
What team you got on board?
Norway.
9746, Roger, give them a shout out from the tower, running 17 right, RNAV at 2 Sparrow. You're clear for takeoff.
All right, clear for takeoff, 17 right, RNAV to Sparrow. We'll let them know, America, 9746.
Yeah, tell them we're rowing up here.
Yeah, we'll let them know we're rowing.
No, there's the Norwegian team. They have the row, like the Vikings. And you see that it's a charter flight. They're not picking up passengers, just like the Brazilian flight. So there's no excuse for them to make their route unless we live on a flat, non-rotating Earth. All right, let me check the comments real quick before we move on to the next one. And please like and share. Of course, always like and share. Hello, Yuko, my friend, my dear sister in Christ. Hope you're doing fine in Kyoto. Beautiful city of Kyoto, ancient capital of Japan. We are about an hour and a half from here by bullet train. I think it's an hour from here, I guess. So welcome to the show, Yuko. All right, so a couple more things that we have to talk today. Let's go ahead and share this screen again. So I was talking, not all podcasts are positive. In the US, they have this. They invite haters, to talk about flat Earth. Like this podcast you see here. This is a Christian podcast, and they were just making fun of flat Earth. Just ridiculous. Two Christian pastors, whatever. You see his pose here, shilling for the globe, for the heliocentric model, for the Catholic Church. I placed a comment there, and then I went back and I took it out because it's not even worth commenting there. They are there to make fun. A couple of years ago, same thing here. This pastor here, flat Earth refutation. This is very old sermon where he tries to refute the flat Earth. Possible. Cannot use the Bible to try to refute the flat Earth because the Bible is a flat Earth book right there. Old Bibles since 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, and even new Bibles, they show there the flat, non-rotating Earth. You cannot escape from that. There's no way. So I did this. This is pretty cool because it shows us biblical flat earthers going against all these brainwashed public education people from churches that place science above the Bible. And we are there. We are making progress, friends, brothers and sisters in Christ and friends. We are making progress. We are making a difference. We just have to keep on doing what we are doing. We should not be quiet about this stuff. We need to go on. We need to keep on being like this fish going against the flow with our Holy Bible, the flat Earth. We need to keep on. And just like I've seen this here, dripping water penetrates a stone. Small, steady effort creates massive change. So these are us here. Keep dripping that flat Earth truth, flat Earth Bible verses, and we are making a difference. I want to play this video here. We will talk about as we go, let me add this to the stream. So this is I just came across this week, I've been searching for flat Earth videos, and not all, sometimes we find those people who try to refute, and I want you to pay attention to this one here. This was pretty crazy. Let me just add the file here real quick. This one.
Gentlemen, many proponents of the flat Earth theory refer to it as, here we go.
We're going here.
The biblical worldview, citing specific scriptures to support their claims. How does this perspective challenge the modern scientific understanding of a round Earth? And let me just say this, that typically in the past, when we hear of flat earthers, we laugh, just like we did just now. However, recently, a pretty well-known minister decided to mock flat earthers from his platform. And the outcry that came against him was so significant that it turned into this big kind of monumental online event. So it turns out there are a lot of flat earthers to the degree that they're almost starting to become a majority or a segment of Christians that you can't just brush aside. And what they're saying is that the flat earth isn't just a theory, this is the biblical worldview. And that if you read the scriptures, it makes it pretty clear the way that the cosmos is ordered, and that the science that has been given to us is a lie to keep us atheistic in how we view the universe.
All right, before those three guys, they're not flat earthers, and they're going to come against flat earth. I don't have all three. I decided just to get the first one because the first one is the wild one. The other two were okay. They were against, but they didn't mock or anything. They were just neutral. They say, well, I don't want to get into that. But let's listen to this first guy. You can see that that's the problem, people based the shape of the earth on the lights, according to the lights in the sky. And we will talk about that in just a second. So let's listen to this first guy's reaction.
You were quoting Troy Brewer when you were quoting him, right?
So here's what I would say. If I can just speak this. So I have a lot of friends, and I have a book on astronomy. I love astronomy. I love physics. I love all those things. I love the cosmos. I love those things. And here's what I would say. I recognize a lot of the things that flat earthers have to say, like, it's so obvious that this is fake. It's so obvious that that is fake. It's true. But the conclusion that you come to in the midst of all that is that everything is a lie, that the earth is actually flat, it's not round. And here's the deal. I cannot tell the difference between a flat earther mob and a Palestinian pro mob.
Wow.
They are exactly the same.
Wow.
They rant the same, they hate the same, they cuss the same. And I'm like, come out of that spirit and have a real Jesus conversation without jumping into that spirit. I get as much hate from flat earthers as I do from pornography, from pro-pornography people.
Wow.
They have the same exact spirit. So I'd say if you actually want to have an intelligent conversation, it's going to be in a spirit where I'm going to meet you with, and I'm not going to jump into all that nonsense.
All right, so let me remove this video now. We're done. That's all I have. Remove here. All right, so you heard the guy, how negative he was. He started very negatively. So you can imagine trying to have a conversation with this guy. He already comes, I know astronomy, I have a lot of friends, blah, blah, blah. So he already has like this shield, he doesn't really want to have a conversation. And he already becomes aggressive. So his action, of course, will cause a reaction. And he thinks that the flat earthers will just listen and not going to talk back. But at least I like the host. He recognized that the growing number of Christian flat earthers, it's to the point where perhaps we are almost the majority now. And these pastors have to listen to us. They have to listen to us. They got to stop mocking, because many of those pastors, they work for the church. That's what it is. They are employees, and they are not there. They got to listen to us. They have to listen to what we have to say. And they went to Jesuit or Freemasonic seminars, and they came out of there not believing the Bible in the first place, believing modern science. And what I want to say about the shape they use astronomy, shout out to my good friend from Brazil, Fake Flip. I hope you're listening to the show, or you'll listen to it later. He's a scientist. Fake Flip is an oceanographer. So he went to debate this physics professor in Brazil. And this physics professor started talking about the stars, all that stuff. And Fake Flip said, are you done yet? When are we going to start talking about actually the Earth, And he said, I'm not an astronomer, so don't waste your time, because astronomy does not shape the face. What we see here, it contradicts what you observe in the sky. So let's talk about what we see here. So Fake Flippy was the very first one who told me, Eddie, the tsunamis, there's no diffraction in Antarctica, because he's an oceanographer. And it doesn't wrap around Antarctica, The Antarctica is this ring around the flat Earth, it's the container. And so I'm pretty bored when I see flat earthers, they're going to debate globers, and they talk only about the lights in the sky, which has no bearings upon the shape of the earth at all. So, I don't even waste my time. So this guy, you saw there, oh, I'm an astronomer or whatever, I have books, I have friends. No, it doesn't change the shape of the earth, Ships, when sailing around Antarctica, going east, gotta keep turning left the whole time. Airplanes have to consider the flat earth in order to calculate the rate of descent. I've been talking about this for several weeks, if not years. But I'm glad that we are making some progress. Our voice are being heard. Yeah, okay? Or our voice is being heard. I don't know. Sorry about my English grammar here. All right, so let me see what else I have to talk about that. So, yeah, we are this voice, we are speaking, and they are actually listening to us, and they better, pay them attention and respect what we have to say, because we are growing numbers and we cannot stop. We are making progress, and we must keep on going. So, guys, the Flat Earth website here, please, feel welcome to download those videos, upload to your channel, or mirror the entire. I have not, I started uploading the videos here, and just once I uploaded, I deleted the original. Now I'm starting to download them again, and I'm going to start another channel. I'm going to upload all the videos again and then and again, perhaps to Rumble, and Odyssey, whatever. And so far, I created a playlist with all the videos, and there is like 100 and 100, how many? 132 videos so far on this Flat Earth channel here, right here. 95% are biblical. We got some testimonies there. I included Glenn Hall. Some of you might remember him. I think he passed away. I believe he did pass away. Great guy. I wanted to have the chance of talking to him, and when I tried to reach him, that's when I found out that I think he passed away. He had a video, not a video. He posted something on his YouTube channel that his family was preparing for his funeral, was already preparing. He had cancer, and he was a bit optimistic. His family was preparing for his funeral, but he started taking a new drug. He was being optimistic, but I don't think he made it. I think it's been almost over a year since he last video, and I think he passed away. So may the Lord, be with his family. A great guy, he has his testimony there. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the topic that we have today, and let's play a song first, our first song, and then we will start talking about the Disinfo Agents World Cup. Let's play a song first, okay? And that's the Space Giant song. Let's listen to Queen of Space.
Sketchy space missions from 1983. Lots of excitement for us to see. in the sky. Oh, space giants hiding out of sight, coming out to peep at NASA's satellite. The shuttle was 122 feet long and over 56 feet high. So now we have to wonder, how massive is this guy? Now there's only two choices on the table: real craft out in space, yet the camera is stable, or it's a toy on a set and a guy came and shot. They didn't notice at the time, believe it or not. But if you chose option one and think it's all true, then you believe space giants peeped on the crew. Space giants hiding out of sight, coming out to peep at NASA's satellite. The shuttle was 122 feet long and over 56 feet high. So now we have to wonder, how massive is this guy?
As even though I heard that song a couple times, I was here laughing, out loud because it's space giants. I mean, it's so funny. Gotta be this giant guy in space. I laughed a lot listening to this song. All right, so let's get to the subject that we are going to talk about today, about all these Disinfo agents here, right? So if I talk about something, it's always going to take you back to flat Earth. It's going to be talked about flat Earth, and always, all the time. So even though you might think I'm changing subjects, I'm not. So I don't know what's going on with this Project Bluebeam. Some of my dear friends in Brazil were thinking that they might have changed their plans, The World Cup in 1938, and then they stopped. They didn't have World Cup in 1942-46. It's canceled due to the World War. They canceled too, and then back in 1950. So we've been waiting for this Project Bluebeam. I don't know if the whole thing is a psyop anyway. But many of us thought that they would be doing this during this World Cup right now, 2026. And there was a lot of aliens activity up to the game in Brazil and Scotland on June 24, the day of the earthquake. Up to that day, there were footage. They were seeing those orange orbs. Even during the game, there was one game in Mexico, Azteca Stadium. They filmed during the game of Brazil, Scotland, the day of the earthquake. They filmed the orange orbs in São Paulo. But all of a sudden it stopped from all the way from the beginning until the very last game. They did no records of any orbs anymore. So my friends in Brazil think that they changed their plans. Perhaps they are waiting until 2030 for the next World Cup to do the whole alien invasion, whatever. Now they do change plans. I thought they would not do it but they do, and I'm going to show you today. As I said, everything that I'm going to talk today, it's about flat Earth or the little season, and I'm not going to waste time talking about soccer itself. So this is the team in Argentina, the World Cup team, and we start to understand what's going on, why this team has been so violent, and at the same time being awarded, like Brazil has been like that. There has been 100 years of World Cup. If you add all the penalty kicks that Brazil was awarded in 100 years, equals to 14. Now, this last World Cup alone, Argentina was awarded like 9 or 10 goals, like given by the referee. So it was a team that was being pushed by the city. They wanted the team to win from beginning to the end. This team was being pushed to win. And I think they changed it. The last game, they changed. There is video footage how the players came out of their locker room before the game, really like saddened. They didn't want to talk, smile, and they didn't play to win the last game. They were told to lose. Why? Because the whole FIFA thing would disintegrate it if they had won this game, because everybody saw the corruption and everything that was going on. So let me show you a couple of videos and then we will get to the point that I want to get. Let's watch the two videos here real quick, okay? First one is this one right here.
You saw Enzo's red card in the final when he tackled Pau Kubasi, but what you did not see is this. Nicolas Tagliafico goes down, unchallenged, no foul, and just goes down like that. Enzo gets a red card. Now watch what happens. There's a reason he's gone down in that phase of play. Now here comes the captain Messi approaching the referee, and he's pointing to guess who? Tagliafico, who's on the ground. What's he looking for? You guys know something called anti-football. Argentina is a satanic team. Look at this. He's seen Fernandes rushing on to Kobasi. He can see clearly this is a foul and Fernandes is already on a yellow card. He's throwing himself down because he knows that if he does that, he can at least get some sort of intervention. And they've been doing that all through this tournament, Argentina. Shady football here and there. Satanic team is what they call them. Messi walks to the referee. He knows Fernandes is supposed to be walking off. The first thing he does is he points to Tagliafico, who went down and wasn't even touched on his own. Nicolas Tagliafico goes down, unchallenged, no foul, and just goes down like that.
This was hands down the worst World Cup final in sports history. The gap in skill was just unbelievable. These two teams weren't even in the same stratosphere. Without the referees, Argentina couldn't even beat Cape Verde. That is a cold, hard fact. Throughout this entire tournament, Argentina benefited from a blatant double standard. In the knockout rounds, the slightest touch on offense was instantly called a penalty, while their dirty, aggressive defensive fouls somehow avoided red cards. But when the refs finally stopped protecting them in the final, what happened? 0 shots in 90 minutes. They had more yellow cards than damn shots on goal. It was embarrassing, it was disgraceful, and it proves once and for all that their entire run was built on a foundation of ref bias, period.
All right, so as I was saying, nothing that I will be talking or playing here today has anything to do with soccer itself. I'm just using this to illustrate the things that I want to talk today. So it makes, now I understand why Argentina got away, not just this past World Cup, but they've been getting away for a long time. You know, there was a game against Brazil that the Brazilian players were bleeding, literally bleeding, because they play violent. They don't really play soccer. They're violent. So it's understood now because who has been backing, the people who has been backing Argentina, they are quite violent, you know, where they are, you know, the things they are doing, where they are. And you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to play this video just to the beginning, you understand.
This July, please bring the 4th cup to Argentina in the Mundial.
Shame on you.
don't need to play anymore. So you can understand that Argentina has been ethnically cleaning their own population for 100 years, And everybody was saying Argentina was the only team who had no black players because they have been getting rid of black people in their country for over 100 years, and they have this policy of ethnic cleaning, whatever. And you can understand who is backing them. Now, why is this? Let me show you this stuff here. This is Patagonia in Argentina. See there? Very close to the Rothschild's Island here, Deception Island, Antarctica right here. Very close. So why, are they doing this? Why is this country? Well, listen to this. This is Mel Gibson. He was on an interview, last year. So to pay attention to this one.
Because time's running out. This is the real plan that's been running since the 1850s, and it's barreling toward World War III. Back then they targeted two prizes, Palestine and Argentina. Palestine for control of the Middle East, Argentina, especially Patagonia, for a final refuge when the world burns. They took Palestine. Done. Now comes the Isaac Accords, Argentina's quiet surrender, turning it into an Israeli colony in all but name. Right now they're burning Argentina down, wildfires everywhere, and buying the scorched land cheap. The tool, their fake NGO, that's Backpackers Without Borders, so-called backpackers, like with maps and cameras, supposedly mapping trails. In reality, they're intelligence operatives marking targets, befriending locals while they plan which part of the Patagonia to burn next. Why? Because the deal is sealed. Milei told Netanyahu, "Mi casa es su casa." If Nuremberg-style trials ever come for Israel, they've got their escape hatch here, just like the Nazis had in the 1940s. And the end game, World War III. Fallout winds blow east-west across the northern hemisphere, Europe, America, Asia. Devastated. Patagonia sits at the bottom next to Antarctica. You do the math. They've got more in common with the Nazis than anyone wants to believe. The perfect arc for the new empire while the North chokes on ash. So, this is it. Spread the word before the fires reach you and the bombs fall.
All right, so that's the plan, Milei, some people say that he is a relative from, he is a Netanyahu's relative, a cousin or something like that. So there you have it, why this team is so played the way they do. And that gets into this Satan leader season, why we believe we are in Satan's leader season. And this whole dispensationalism is just another way to get what they want, because they have support of so many Christians who are blind and don't see they are supporting, what they are supporting. Because if this whole thing was really by the Lord, by God, the Creator, they don't need a backup country. They don't need a backup place to go while, the countries, European countries, China, Europe and US go to war. You don't need a place like that, This is all man-made. So this takes us to the Satan's little season, because the whole dispensationalism stuff, it's wrong. It's wrong, right? There's one more video I want to play. Very interesting. This lady, she nails it.
Because of the Schofield Bible, which was a Rothschild-funded change, an emphasis to make American Christians support the state of Israel, which didn't even exist in the Bible.
Right.
And then they also ran all the seminaries that all the priests and pastors went to. So you don't just have it in the book, you have it coming out of the mouths of people you trust.
Right.
And and no one can say, because, they're the Jews of the Old Testament, and we have to, and it's like, the Jews of the Old Testament followed Christ.
Right.
Actually.
Right.
What you have now is a reaction to Christianity. It's rabbinic, Talmudic, Babylonian Judaism that is a reaction to 3rd century Christianity. That's why the book says Jesus was burning in hell.
Right.
It couldn't have existed before Christ. They didn't have a book that said Jesus was burning in hell. The Old Testament Jews walking through the desert weren't reading a book that said Jesus was burning in hell because he wasn't here yet.
Right. Right.
So this is not you got to understand the break.
Whenever I hear like Christian conservatives, they bring up this term Judeo-Christian values.
How does that work?
Yeah.
How does that work? That's like I'm watching Christian porn.
A very, very funny lady there, but she nails it, like I've been talking about dispensationalism for the past 3 weeks, I guess, because it's a false doctrine created in the 1800s to support what we are having today. And these people just get away, doing what they're doing. And many Christians are blind to this idea. So let me share my screen here again. Everything has to do, with the deception. So I have, I was, really saddened because one brother, flat earther, he has been exposing many pastors who are Freemasons, exposing. But at the same time, when talks about Satan's little season, he relies on these very same pastors to defend that, the whole dispensationalism stuff, because all of them, globe pastors and dispensationalism, like we see here, understand the old prophecy, all these prophets, today's prophets, they support the globe model, of course. They see on the cover of their books, and they claim to be able to understand prophecy, to read prophecy, or they are prophets themselves. When in fact, they cannot even distinguish the shape of the earth, and they think that they can tell the end of times. Church in Brazil, they are running, that's how they are collecting money. They have the scanner. All the workers, the deacons, I guess, they go, they scan the credit cards of the people inside the church. This church here in the US, the pastor arrived, look at the way he did it. Roller coaster. It's like a circus, what's going on here? Now these people had the same pastor, I forgot his name, Ed Young, I guess, preaches the same eschatology. 70 weeks of Daniel have been postponed. Third temple, all those lies. See how the guy, that's right there, happily ever after, when the tree breaks. That's his sermon right there about preaching about the 7-year tribulation, second coming, tribulation. 3.5 years, all that stuff. These pastors who can't, no, telling you guys. And I understand Pastor Dino is doubling down against Satan little season, but just as we see Christians speaking out about flat earth, say, no, Pastor, stop right there, stop them on the tracks. We must have this discussion as well. Why should we be brainwashed with this whole, dispensationalism? Why 23 movies made by Hollywood pushing this stuff? Why every book, eschatological book, every mega church, small church, all preaching the same thing, just like the globe, And we must speak out. We pay their salaries. One of them, pay the salaries, so they gotta respect and listen to what we have to say. That's great that the backlash, that pastor was mocking flat earth, and the whole church, went against him, or majority of the church, because he was mocking the word of God. And the God does not lie. He gave 70 weeks to Daniel, and that 70 weeks were fulfilled in Christ. We all know that until the early 1800s. Everybody knew that until they changed the curriculum, the seminars and everything, and they completely changed that stuff. So I went a little bit off topic here about the disinfo agents. Let's go back to that, right? So why have I even started? I went back. I went astray from the topic. Everything that I'm talking, I just went like, I went the other way. So let's go back here to those disinfo agents. So I played a video, the Google lady talking about demoting flat Earth videos and promoting the globe and everything. We have, NASA and Google. You see here Eric Schmidt from Google. We see here the Scott Hubbard from NASA. You see their Masonic handshake. So we know they hide the lie of the globe Earth. They hide the truth of flat Earth. You know that, and that's their job. And we know all this control opposition here. We have Jaron Campanella and his best friend now, Mark Toon. They all work together with Duffy to, they say the best way to control the position is to lead it ourselves. That's why we had all those people pretending to be flat earther, and they are just like the Argentine team. They do what they want. They try to represent and they mock. They misrepresent flat earth. They are disinfo agents, and all of them work together, just like the Argentine team. They don't play football or soccer. They are there just to. They have an agenda, just like these guys. Can you imagine if they were real flat earthers? Every time they were interviewed by the channels, they would really represent flat earth, but instead, stabbing like this guy here, Josh Monday, went to the Globers channel there, almost apologized for being a flat earther, And another Floppy Davidson here, ridiculous guy, leading the Flat Earth Convention and came out against Flat Earth now. David Wise, every time I see him, it's so cringe now. We're seeing him on these podcasts. I mean, it's weird. Mark Sargent, big deception here, came out 2015, great series, Flat Earth Clues, and then turned out to be this control opposition guy. All of them, Jaron Campanella, what a joke. Nobody, what's funny? People don't know these people. They think they are something like I was listening to this TikTok. They were debating, and the Globers never heard of Duffy, never heard of Jaron Campanella, never heard of these guys, So they think they are something. They are already forgotten. And, these are the control opposition. See there, Josh Monday, ridiculous, still found meat were puntarinas for the experiment. Lying right there. We know that the lights in the sky does not change the shape of the Earth. We still need to calculate the rate of descent on a flat Earth, not on a globe. So all these people, what they are humanists, and they've been around since the 1500s, right at the end of the Satan's, when Satan was released from the pit. Of course, we're talking with the fake calendar anyway. And see how these popes here were humanists, Pope Julius II, champion of the arts, the architecture, envisioned a magnificent Rome. Patron of Michelangelo, Raphael, and Rembrandt, promoted classical learning and the revival of the ancient civic ideals. Pope Leo X, a devoted humanist and scholar, surrounded himself with learned men, supported literature, poetry, and the revival of Greek and Latin learning, ditched the Bible, and adopted all the pagans' idea, expanded the Vatican library. Pope Adrian VI, renowned scholar and teacher, one of the most learned men of his age, saw reform in church administration. all these popes, humanist popes, Pope Clement VII, you know, and the Pope Paul III, the one that there is one here who supported the heliocentric model. Don't know which one it is. I think it's Pope Pius right here. Supported the teaching of scripture. No, not this. There is one here who supported the heliocentric model. So all these guys pretending to be what they are and they are not. Okay. And they are, let's listen to this debate here. Just a couple minutes. This is Craig, the humanist, who is trying, he has a video trying to talk about the Bible. I mean, what a joke.
What does logical impossibility mean?
It means that it's something that is logically impossible as a conclusion.
You can't use the words to describe the words, Craig.
Yes, you can.
What does logical impossibility mean?
It means that it is something that would not come as a result of conclusions of what's happening. If you look at the overall, if you look at the overall conclusions of what secular humanism gives, and look at that, the outcome would be a logical.
My question is, what does logical impossibility mean?
I'm trying to answer. It means that it is something that if you look at the overall conclusions of something and look at it logically, the outcome is an impossibility. If you look at all the conclusions of secular humanism, what it tries to promote, the logical impossibility of locking people up and causing harm comes from looking at those of the entirety of secular humanism. You keep coming up with questions of what if they locked people up?
Yeah, I just want to make sure we
it's not something that would happen in secular humanism.
Is Wolverine from the X-Men logically impossible?
Wolverine is from the X-Men, specifically the first.
No. The character, the Wolverine from the X-Men, the adamantium claws, the healing power system, is that logically impossible?
Using Copenhagen's interpretation of quantum mechanics, no.
No, it's not logically. So Wolverine is not logically impossible, right?
It could exist in a number of universes as far as we know.
But what is logically impossible is that a bunch of people can't get together and change what the meaning of harm is.
Well, again.
So just a pause there. Like you see the absurdity, like these Globers, humanists, they back those science fiction fantasy stuff, a parallel world and quantum physics, totally out of reality, fantasy. Just to support their idea, the humanist idea. It's a way to remove God from everything and everywhere so they can do the things they want to do. So let's listen to a little bit more.
But Andrew, you are missing the point of what collective experiences show us. We look at collective experiences throughout the world and we can see what harm is. You are just saying, well, what if they changed what harm is? But as humans, we know
what Craig, what if they change what the meaning of harm is, Craig?
You got 3 words out there, Andrew.
Can you answer the damn question, Craig?
I'm trying to, Andrew, and if you let me, that would be wonderful.
Oh, well, you see, the thing is that without answering the question never gets answered.
I am
so we're never going to actually answer the question because answering the question is an unanswered question.
Yep.
And what do they change the definition of harm, Craig?
Yeah, Andrew, I'm trying to let me answer the question. They won't change the definition of harm.
They won't?
No.
But Wolverine's logically possible.
So, secular humanism looks at what happens as experiences, and throughout humanity, we can know that locking people up and doing harm is a bad thing because it makes bad things happen. It makes people unhappy. It causes harm.
So here, Craig says that locking people up is doing harm to them, All right, so listen to this.
It makes society a worse place.
What about when it doesn't cause harm, like when we lock criminals up?
So, the idea of locking criminals up, at least in the decent countries,
does it reduce harm, Craig?
Yes, when you
wait. So you just saying
locking
people up is going to reduce harm? Well,
Andrew, am I allowed to talk?
Craig?
Am I allowed to talk?
Well, Craig.
All right, so you see there, all right, Craig contradicting himself, and we had this a couple of weeks ago. When I had Rick Hinckley, shout out to you, Rick. I played a video about an atheist who was saying doing evil stuff with children was not wrong. And then when the guy pressed on him, he went back. He said, oh, yeah, it's wrong. But Craig doesn't really think that locking people up reduces harm. He changed his mind because he saw that the audience was largely applauding the other guy. So the same thing, this atheist, he changed his mind because he saw that what he said uh, was causing a backlash. But the truth is, those atheist guys, they want to remove God. So if you don't have an outside parameter telling us what's right or wrong, these guys don't come up with those things by themselves. That's why they are so weak. The less God we have in society, like Christianity, they are doing more and more stuff like cloning people and organ harvesting and meat, fake meat, perhaps human meat mixed with the hamburger stuff like that. Because once you remove God, once you remove Christianity, there's no limit to what those people can do, doing harms and harm to other people, you know. And there's no way these atheists or humanists can have make sense of it. They have to. They end up contradicting themselves, just like Craig did. So those humanists, they are the ones who infiltrate in churches and in flat Earth, and they pretend to be one thing, but they are actually destroying from within. They are trying to. That's why we need to keep flat Earth biblical, depending on the Bible, because the Bible does not change. The Word of God does not change. So that's why we need to use the Bible. Keep on using the Bible, because the Bible is a flat Earth book. There is no doubt about it. Even some atheists, as I have showed you guys before, have shown us that the Bible is truly a flat Earth book. And go back to flat Earth sermons. There are plenty of sermons there showing that, and that's how we win from against these people, and they get exposed because we cannot have those humanists leading. Sooner or later, they will expose themselves. So TFE was a pretty fire. It showed us, all the true flat earthers and the ones that were not. They jumped out of the ship, and thank God for that. Now we can move on without them. We don't need those fake leaders anyway. Thank God, Floppy Davidson is gone. Patricia Steele is gone. Jaron Capanelli is gone. Thank God, all those bad leaders are gone. They don't represent us. And yes, I wish David Wise was gone as well, because, some people might think that he's doing a good job, but he's really leading the opposition, just like I don't trust him at all. He will throw Flat Earth under the bus, just like he was doing with FE. Supporting, that's why I've got to say this to Mike Smith. I know he is always here, but don't get involved. If you don't want one big call the show, don't get involved with those guys, MacToon, Cast, whatever his name is. Don't get involved, because those are people who were hired by Google to fight the flat Earth, just like Craig. 2018, all those people came up. So we know they are actors. They are paid shoes. Don't waste your time debating them, going to their shows, because they are hired to do what they are doing right now. They will never concede to flat Earth, never, because they're liars. Something evil, are upon them. And this fight the flat Earth guy, humanist, atheist, whatever, don't get involved with these guys. Don't give them your time. Okay, so let's go ahead. Hello, Don. Thanks for being here. I miss you, my dear sister in Christ. Thanks for being here today. We'll read. I'm now reading my glasses. I want to play a video here. I told you guys, if you have the ability, I'm not against using AI to illustrate, to make short videos about flat Earth, because the Globers are doing so. So what I'm going to show here is actually a Glober's channel, he made like a 15 minutes long video. And the way they are doing, they are talking about flat earth positively in the first few minutes, and then they start dissing at the end of the video. So you can easily select the good parts out of it and create good videos. So I'm going to play one right now, and I hope you guys like it, because if you select the good parts out of the bad, you can come up with some good stuff. That's what I did here. This video was made by AI, so pay attention to this one.
There is a massive place on Earth where you are strictly banned. Even the biggest YouTube stars get visibly nervous talking about it. Another massive influencer wanted to sail straight to the frozen edge. A popular musician tragically crashed shortly after filming secret icy footage. And digital maps actively erase entire coordinates from our view. Why did a massive military armada once flee this frozen wasteland? What secrets did global leaders really inspect on the ice? First, we check out the massive frozen border called the ice wall. Antarctica is actually a giant circular barrier. This giant frozen ring supposedly stops all our oceans from spilling. These sheer vertical cliffs tower over 200 feet above water. Any unauthorized exploration vessels are immediately forced to turn around. Conspiracists think the government wants to hide what lies beyond. Whether it is a giant dome or endless land remains unknown. Next, we explore why Google Earth hides massive parts of Antarctica. Anyone can use satellite maps to zoom into the coldest continent, but searching certain coordinates will lead you to massive blurred zones. Tech giant executives quietly censored these locations without giving any reasons. Amateurs believe these pixelated areas hide secret entrances or futuristic research. Perhaps secret military bases are nestled deep inside the freezing valleys. In 2017, some coordinates were completely wiped from the database. Internet sleuths tried coordinates only to find empty white oceans instead. Officials claim it is just a simple technical stitching glitch. But suspicious minds think they are keeping our world entirely blind. Either way, the digital blackout leaves room for infinite wild theories. Next, we check the viral moment when YouTube's king almost slipped online. Not long ago, Jimmy Donaldson actually spent several days filming in Antarctica. While his official videos were harmless, his live stream appearance raised eyebrows. During a casual broadcast, streamer Aiden Ross asked him a terrifying question. He directly asked Jimmy if he saw the legendary icy barrier. The famous creator immediately froze and began to stutter very suspiciously. He stammered that he simply could not discuss it on stream. Streamer XQC immediately lost his mind and screamed in absolute disbelief. Jimmy warned that you always need a mandatory minder down there. Conspiracists immediately claimed the YouTube star was being heavily monitored. I guess even his massive budget cannot buy a ticket beyond. This suspicious slip-up remains one of the internet's favorite mysteries. Now we sail back in time to a mysterious military mission. In 1946, a massive military armada headed to Antarctica. Over 4,000 fully armed troops and combat aircraft were deployed. Legendary explorer Admiral Richard Byrd commanded this massive Navy task force. The official public goal was scientific research and mapping the terrain. But the entire mission abruptly ended several months earlier than planned. They packed up their gear and sailed away in great haste. Several planes crashed and multiple troops sadly lost their lives there. Now we look at a bizarre political mystery from the Cold War. During the Cold War, superpowers were on the brink. Yet in 1959, they surprisingly signed a historic treaty. They completely banned all military activity and weapon testing down there. This document also strictly prohibited any mining or extraction of resources. Most importantly, regular civilians are not allowed to explore Antarctica freely. You need special government permission and expensive permits to visit it. Conspiracists find it extremely suspicious that enemies agreed so easily. They suspect the treaty actually protects a massive secret from us. While saving the environment is great, the strict bans fuel rumors. This agreement remains the ultimate political shield in modern polar history. Now we look at a highly viral and tragic modern mystery. Famous alternative musician Oliver Tree was known for his wild stunts.
He shocked his fans by filming a documentary in Antarctica.
Oliver jokingly boasted that he spent hundreds of days researching there. But tragically, he passed away in a terrible Brazilian helicopter accident. The shocking timing caused conspiracists to claim he was silenced. Millions of online posts suggested the accident was a cover-up. His final unfinished project remains a highly debated topic online.
Next, we uncover a series of highly suspicious VIP trips.
Several prominent figures made sudden, quiet trips to Antarctica. Top American politician visited on the actual election day. Even the Pope made unexpected visits to these icy shores. No one gave a clear explanation for these highly urgent meetings. Conspiracists suspect they were inspecting ancient ruins under the ice. The official explanation was studying global climate change and research. But skeptics find it hard to believe they all went together. While science is important, the timing of these trips remains suspicious. Either way, this frozen wasteland continues to attract the elite. NASA scientists launched a high-tech balloon over the freezing continent. This giant high-tech cartoon weather balloon searched for mysterious space particles. The detector caught mysterious particles shooting directly up from ice. This anomalous direction completely baffled and shocked top physicists around the world. Antarctica continues to challenge everything we know about our physical reality.
What do you think Mr. Beast is actually keeping from us?
Was Oliver Tree silenced before his final movie could launch? Will we ever see his unfinished footage from the ice? Or is the world truly flat with secrets behind walls? Are those who find the truth being forced to disappear? Stay safe and always keep questioning everything.
That was turned out really good, but the original, he goes like, oh, flat earthers think that, he makes like look like flat earthers are this bunch of crazy people, you know. So some of those videos, they can be done really well to explain the flat earth concept. And if you have the ability, you know, just make it, because people are making. And I'm gonna see if I can play another one. That one was really bad. You know, the guy was trying to debunk flat earth, but the video is like almost 15 minutes long. So I selected the good parts out of it. So the story can be told, you know, for children or even for adults. And but they are using AI, and they are making the stuff to mock flat earth instead of to teach. So why, if we have the know-how, if you know how to do it, we can make short videos like this to make our points known, especially biblically. You know, biblically would turn out really nice. You know, some Bible passages showing like Psalm 19:1, the firmament, or the Psalm 19:6, the sun having a secret. You know, all that stuff. Right? I will play one more, and then after the song, I'll play another one. This is really short. This was not AI. This was hand drawing. It's only 2 minutes long.
One day we were outside, and my friend, who's like a brother, sort of randomly just spout off like, "Oh man, Earth isn't like a ball; it's flat." You crazy, man. I went on my computer later on that day and started like kind of like doing a little research on it, and it just sort of like all, it just hit me. I've been researching flat Earth for about close to 4 years. I'm more knowledgeable than your average flat earther. You can't really convince anybody that the Earth is flat. It's sort of like, if 99% of society says this color's blue and one person says it's red, everybody, regardless of if it's blue or not, everyone's going to agree with it. The surface is always flat. You look at a pool of water, it's flat. You look at a lake, it's flat. A bowl of water, it's flat. So at what distance does that become irrelevant? And I'm definitely not spinning 1,000 miles an hour. Even if it wasn't spinning, I would fall off the side of it, I believe. They can say that we're spinning, but there's no actual evidence of it. It's sort of the devil's way to make everyone feel like they're just a speck of a speck of a speck on a little nothing rock. If everyone knew that we are all that is, will ever be, I think the world might be a better place.
All right, that was a great 2 minutes long short video, a testimony. The guy put down his story. And, things like that, if you can make it, send it to me. I'll upload it to my channel or play here on the weekends. Shout out to Ireland is in the house. Love you all in Ireland as well. Carl Taylor, New Zealand is in the house. How are you, brother? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you guys, you're doing fine in New Zealand. So let's go ahead and listen to a song right now, and then we should be back in a few minutes. I want to listen to this letter J. We've been talking about the letter J for the past 2 weeks. So let's listen to this letter J song. Let's see if I find the missing J.
I sat in the pew last Sunday. The preacher was sweating, shouting about a tribulation coming our way, waiting for the temple to fall, waiting for the end. I just looked down at my Bible, Matthew 24. Jesus looked right at his disciples and said, "This generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." He wasn't talking to us, he was talking to them. Year 70 AD, the stones came down, the fire fell, the judgment came. They kept us waiting for a train that already left the station. The preacher man sweats in his tailored suit, selling us fear from a bitter root, saying wait for the rapture, wait for the beast, while the serpent is dining right here at the feast. They read the good book, but they twisted the time. They buried the kingdom and covered the crime. The tribulation happened, the temple is dust, but they keep us in cages of future mistrust. Oh, the 1,000 years of peace have come and gone. We ain't waiting in the dark for the rising dawn. Read Revelation 20, it spells out the treason. The devil's out the pit for his little season. We ain't waiting on a savior to conquer the night. The king is on the throne and the victory is tied. Yeah, they stole the timeline to keep us afraid, but the remnant is walking right off of their stage. I walked down the street to the old courthouse square, looked at the granite that shouldn't be there. A building too grand for the horse and the cart, a relic of ether, a masterpiece of art. I brushed off the dirt from the cornerstone grave and looked at the letters where the old history lay. It said J 760 and 4. Not a 1 but a J for the king of the sword. They added 1,000 fake years to the line to blindfold the people and fracture the time. They called it the dark age, a primitive past, to hide that the kingdom was built here to last. Oh, the 1,000 years of peace have come and gone. We ain't waiting in the dark for the rising dawn. Read Revelation 20, it spells out the trees and the devil's out the pit for his little season. We ain't waiting on a savior to conquer the night. The king is on the throne and the victory is tied. Yeah, they stole the timeline to keep us afraid, but the remnant is walking right off of their stage. The 1,000 years are expired. Satan is loosed from his prison. He's deceiving the nations, but he can't touch the crown. Check the cornerstone.
Beautiful song, The Missing J. All the songs that we play here, it's always there on the Flat Earth Music playlist. Just go to my channel, you find there. Let me share here real quick. Go to the playlist, you'll find there Flat Earth Music. All the songs I play here, it's right there. Really happy that people have enjoyed this physicist from India. I used the translator, translated his conversation and uploaded his video. I got in touch with them, say I was going to do that. And it's a very nice conversation. The physicist, he's a flat earther, and he didn't even start talking about flat earth. He was just destroying the globe for the whole, like 40 something minutes, 36 minutes. He destroyed the globe. And I'm looking forward to a second interview where he then will be talking about the flat earth. I'm also glad that some people watch the news benders and see how everything is planned decades in advance. The news, everything is planned, so that's what I don't understand how Pastor Dinodo cannot see what's going on, that this whole dispensationalist idea was planned since the 1800s. Everything was planned. The seminars, all the missionaries, all preaching the same story, so they can create this narrative of the third temple. I don't understand, because if you read the prophecy of Daniel, the temple would have been built, and then the Messiah come, and then the temple would be destroyed. So this all happened already. Now they are saying that the Messiah is coming first, and then the Messiah will build the temple. That's not what the prophecy says. Where are these people getting this from? And I don't understand. Pastor Dinodo, he researches everything. How can he ignore all that stuff? But anyway, that's up to him. It's, I don't know. It's up to him. All right, guys, I want to invite you, if you can, if you want, to support the channel. Just go to any of my videos right there. You see Flat Earth Bungee Store. Get a t-shirt, get a map. It's a way to support the channel or become a Patreon. I really would like to reach 20 Patreon. That's my goal. It's very hard, but I understand that the situation for everyone is very hard. Here in Japan, things are getting expensive, more and more expensive every day. This Japanese lady, she put out a video saying that, as a Japanese person, Japan's new rules for foreigners worry me. They're raising the fees, the prices, and everything. Like, normally a family of 4 that had to renew their visas cost only 6,000 yen a year. Now it's 70,000 yen, like 400% more. At the same time, the salaries have been frozen for 30 years. They're squeezing, so we don't know where this is going to get. If you want to support the channel, it's greatly appreciated, never required. Everything here, please download and upload to your channels. Share. The most important part is that Flat Earth and Jesus Christ is being announced. That's the whole thing. But this is a Flat Earth channel, so we devote a lot of time talking about Flat Earth. And I love talking about Little Season. Next weekend, I plan to be doing the whole show about the Little Season. And I'll be talking in particular about the Urbano Mountain map. How I believe that's the map that, according to I researched about Urbano Mountain map, he did not commission people to go around the world and map. He got from older maps and put together his amazing map. So he had the sources from maps before the change of before Satan's release. So he had the source of the maps before that time of the Millennium Kingdom. So that's why it's very important for us to be looking at that map. And I'll be showing several things. I've been studying the map, so I'm going to be highlighting. So it's going to be a show dedicated to the Little Season next weekend, right? So let me see here the comments real quick before we wrap up the show. They've been going on for an hour and a half. So I like it. So I'm paying attention to what you've been saying from Mason Trash. And I told Mike, if he wants to be taken seriously, he needs to disassociate himself with that Mike Toon, and all these guys, man. Because, those guys are hired by the Google, the control position, Jaron, they all work together. So disassociate yourselves with those guys if you want to be taken seriously, That's what you guys have to do. All right. Yes, good Satan, Little Season gaining traction, and opposition are growing because they want to support this whole dispensationalism idea, but the Bible is clear. There's no gap in the prophecy. Daniel's prophecy has been fulfilled in Jesus Christ. So, All right, guys, I think that's going to be all for today. I had planned a few more things, play a few more videos, but let's make it short so everybody can listen. And let's, share the Flat Earth Sermons website, channel, download the videos, upload to your channels. 137 videos so far, sermons there, share with Christians, pastors. But many pastors are brainwashed anyway. They are educated from the seminars which push the globe and the dispensationalism idea. So, but we don't know. Miracles happen. So I appreciate all of you being here. I want to get in touch with you, brother. So let's see if we can have, exchange some email. I think if I don't have your email, Carl, drop me a line, drop me your email. I want to get in touch with you. So, guys, thank you for being here. Flat Earth Patriot, greetings, brother. Thank you, long time Patreon supporter. Thank you so much. I appreciate, greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All of you, Yuko, my Patreon as well. Thank you, Yuko. You've been, great sister. Thanks so much. So we'll be seeing each other again next weekend. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Keep it flat. Keep it biblical. There's no flat earth without the Bible. And the Bible doesn't make sense on a globe. I told a couple of guys this week, well, Pastor, if you tell me the Bible supports the globe, I have to throw my Bible away because I know the earth is flat. We work on a flat earth. The tsunamis do not wrap around Antarctica. Navigating, you got to go east. You need to keep turning left, to navigate the Earth. So we know we live on a flat Earth. So if you tell me that the Bible is a globe book, I have to throw away my Bible because, it contradicts what we see, experience on a daily basis. So thanks, guys, for being here today. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Christ is King. The Earth is flat. And I'll see you back next weekend if the Lord allows me to. May Him, the Lord, keep and bless each and every one of you, your families. Keep you guys safe. And we'll see each other again. All right? God bless you guys. Bye-bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratospherius, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon, hydrogen with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles up, 10th air pressure, up a dead drop in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, awesome, yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, legendary light, supernatural, eternal, supernatural. Up we go, higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulus, nimbus, higher than air, high level horizon, 360 around us, but right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve above around us, but forever a short time past intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we keep you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air, a level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning hotels on the firmament, time all around us, to forever short time past geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air. Mystic, solar luminous light, fantastical, magical, bright, we see through you like air. Magical, angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. through you like